Hello everyone, Dragon Gaming Kid Fun Gaming here, and today in our commentary, which should have been out a couple days ago, but my bad, we're going to talk about underwater volcanoes. And it's not me that picked this one, you guys did in the community tab with a little poll. So if you guys want to have a little bit more involvement in this, feel free to go check out the community tab. If our discussion of underwater volcanoes today, feel free to subscribe. Alright, so what actually is an underwater volcano? It's basically a volcano underneath the ocean, but more specifically, it's going to be an underwater vent or a fissure in Earth's surface from which magma can erupt. Now, what's the difference between magma and lava? Magma and lava are essentially the same substance, but we call them differently depending on where they are. Underneath the Earth's crust of the 5-ish layers that we have here on planet Earth, 4, but they recently, I think more evidence was discovered for a 5th one not that long ago. At least not as far as the recording goes. So you basically have the crust, then you've got some, I can't remember else, I think that may be magma if I'm not mistaken, or then you've got the outer core, and the outer inner core, and the inner core. I'm actually going to do us all a favor and double check that. So, for a second, let's spell that. But the biggest thing that you need to know is that magma is underneath the crust mantle. That was the word I was thinking of, mantle. That's basically where all of your magma is going to be. And we're going to call it magma when it's in the mantle and it hasn't risen through the crust. When it exits out through a volcano, usually, we call it lava. It's basically the exact same thing, but it's called differently depending on where it's at. Now, they're usually located near tectonic plate formations, especially when the mid-ocean ridges. Tectonic plates are basically where the crust they're basically pieces of the crust, and you live on one, probably. Unless you live in the sky, which, do tectonic plates exist for the sky? We don't know. Or, at least, I don't know. I haven't looked that up. But we're going to say that you live here on Earth. We're not living in space here. You're going to live on one of the tectonic plates. In tectonic plates, when they rub against one another, it causes earthquakes, which can be a topic for a completely another video. But the main thing that you really need to know for those mid-ocean ridges is that those volcanoes are going to account for about 75% of the magma output on Earth, which means your volcanoes on the surface or on land is really only going to account for 25% of that. So a good way to figure that out is if you have 4 people, and 4 people are building Minecraft, but only 3 of them are actually doing anything, and one person's just kind of there. That one person that's just only there is, there are land volcanoes only accounting for 25% of the work. Now, what's an effect of an underwater volcano? They can also trigger massive landslides that, if it slides into the water or occur beneath the ocean surface, like the eruptions, can cause tsunamis. So, not really something you want, really, at all. But sometimes it happens, it's just nature. And there's actually a song called Tsunami, which I really like. What are some examples of a submarine volcano, which is what they're officially called? The underwater volcanoes, or submarine volcanoes, are exactly what they sound like underneath the ocean. Pretty much exactly as the word suggests. One of the famous ones I found was West Mata, which erupted in 2009 about 4,000 feet or 1,219 meters beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean between Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa. So for those that need a much better idea of where the Pacific Ocean is at, you're looking at pretty much the east of Japan and the west of California, which you'll be seeing on screen as well. The negative effects. There's a lot of negative effects, but let's look at some cool facts about an underwater volcano. They are pretty much hidden right completely underneath that water, and will estimately, we're going to say, do about 75% of all that work. An estimated 0.7 cubic miles of lava has erupted. I don't know if it's on year by year. I'm just kind of going off what Google's telling me and acting like I know my stuff. So, what is a fissure? A fissure, as was talked about before, is a long, narrow opening line of breakage made by cracking or splitting, especially in rock or the earth. So, this is basically kind of what you really need to. How this relates to the underwater volcano is that our crack in the ocean is our underwater volcano. There's also a version of it to split or crack something to form a long, narrow opening. Which that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for our absolute favorite version of it, are nouns. I just coming across all these different things to do commentaries over, just talking about underwater volcanoes. Now, I wanted to do something underwater related because we are building in the Serpent's Call an underwater redstone tunnel, or was originally going to. Then found out redstone really does not work well underwater, so had to change the plan. And after I could get it to work, realized it didn't work as I intended it to. It really, the redstone doesn't really win. This is going to be pretty much the beginning of our brand new original adventure map, the Serpent's Call, based off of the Sapphire Cube, which you can see on screen. And the majority of it, or if I don't put her on screen, because I put her on screen in the last commentary, is you can find her if you're 16 plus. It's basically what she'll allow you on the stream at twitch.tv/sapphire_Q. Now, we are going to, this little tunnel actually will lead to the Sapphire Castle, where you will find, kind of start your adventure and end the adventure here. But not necessarily. You will be going to a different realm for the finale. I'm talking any further about that, I will be spoiling everything, and we haven't even built the castle yet. So this will be a good waypoint to come back to every single time you need to rest, as there will be several beds. But it will also introduce, ironically, a currency system in which you can actually go and buy stuff in the adventure map. Now, Sapphire's little currency for her little Twitch channel points is called Aquamarine, and basically you're going to use a bunch of diamonds that you find throughout the world as your Aquamarine to go and buy things like a sword, a bow, a shield, and many other things while you go and explore and do really, really fun activities in the Sapphire world. Now, what I do plan to do after we do our own Let's Play of this map here on the channel is I'm going to do a video revealing the locations of every single aquamarine. Originally called the Safbucks, but I'm going to stick with aquamarine. Cooler, and that's less name tagging I have to do. It will be basically built kind of like your old-fashioned adventure map. Before everything got used for a bunch of command blocks. And that's pretty much what I have there. Now, we talked a little bit about underwater volcanoes, but volcanoes are basically the exact same way, more or less, and those can be heavily, heavily destructive. But I will save volcanoes for a completely other time. Now I'm going to kind of switch back to Sapphire, the Serpent's Call, and okay, so I read all of that information up into the phone, and that phone just went off because somebody called. So that got weird. But what is that? Oh, just extra notifications. No big deal. I just have to ignore them. And I can't place redstone underwater, which is kind of a given. But that's okay. That's okay. Didn't really think that part through. Here, you're going to notice in this particular section, I use a lot of prismarine, a lot of sea lanterns. The original idea was also to change these into frog lights, use some of the blocks. But I decided, in fact, I wanted to keep everything sea themed. So, the lanterns it was. You will have a couple of conduits around, which I did not think about building in the video, especially for this intro section here, which will make it 10 times easier to worry about everything. And there, of course, is your magma blocks and your soul sand, which is your way up to the surface and back and down to Sapphire's Castle. Now, what I was going to do was this was my way of, what you're seeing here was my way of trying to get air bubbles so you do not drown. But I could have solved this with a conduit, and it didn't occur to me about that. I also don't build conduits very often, which is something I noticed. I probably need to build a lot more conduits. But, of course, the way those work is that you must have full source water blocks for the little bubble effect to work. The bubble columns. And there I am destroying the rest of that redstone. So your question of the video is, how often? No, that's not a good question. I was going to ask how often do you build conduits, but my answer I'm going to ask is, what's a cool, safe for work fact that you know? Kind of like the underwater volcanoes that we discussed today. Leave it in the comment section. I want to know. I want to know your cool, safe for work facts. If you do something PG-13, please censor it the best that you can. And if it's not safe for work, don't say it in the comment section, or your comment will be deleted. I do keep tabs on all of that. It may not be immediately, but it will happen. So don't test it. The beacons that you're seeing in the background there will be color coded, and throughout the adventure, we'll be referring to those beacons by their color. As I mentioned in the last video, the last commentary, we're going to have side quests. There's actually a lore reveal, main story reveal, that happens if you only take the side quest. So I can't wait for that to happen. I once again apologize for the Discord notification, but that leaves another question. Should I create a Discord server? I've thought about it a little bit. I also have thought, maybe not. So where we are at right now, it will be the entrance to the little Sapphire Castle. In the Sapphire Castle, I wanted to go a lot deeper when it comes to building everything. As we get, so that the castle was 100% underneath the water. But I decided against this because, one, you need to be able to see the castle so you can figure everything back out. But two, it was literally just a hub. Like, you don't really need it. And what I'm gonna plan to do, that's what I'm planning to do, I am going to build a little balloon, maybe in the next video, who knows? Or maybe out a video. And I'm going to go right before everything. I'm going to build a little hot air balloon for our hub. So the hub's not just kind of floating in midair. I've also decided for the time being, unless I get additional input, to leave the resin exposed. Because I'm not going to be able to touch it anyway. So what's the real point in hiding the redstone if you're not going to be destroying it? It's very simple redstone. Let me see. What else do I need to say? Because I still got 7 minutes left to kill in this video. And I went through all my Underwater Volcano facts. Let me see. This would have been a great time to pull out sea serpent facts. But I did not do that. So, as of this video being uploaded, 1.20 will be pretty much revealed. The name of it will be revealed later this week, and it will most likely be the topic of next week's commentary. I actually have not been keeping up with that update and everything that's surrounding it, so I'll figure that out as I go. Let me see. What else do I need to talk about? Oh, Bendy and Dark Revival is coming to consoles. So that's pretty cool. Do I think it's going to come to mobile? No, but if it does come to mobile, you guys know the drill. That is the hub, by the way. I will put in a giant air balloon over it. And it's going to basically be filled on propane or soul campfires. And you will be seeing a little sneak peek of what the inside of this will be looking like. I've held off on writing the signs until we write everything down. I fear we probably won't come back to the hub for a long time, so there's no excuse for me not to go ahead and write the signs. I will write our signs there to, of course, do your normal greetings for an adventure map. Oh, here's who built it. Go check out my YouTube channel. Go subscribe, Oh, here's Saf. Feel free to go and watch her channel. The normal stuff. What I'm gonna probably do. I will probably show that off in the next video. And then the video after, I'll be taking a break from Minecraft commentary. Not taking a break from commentary in general, but going to take a break from just this commentary. We'll be working on this on the behind the scenes. And not next commentary, but in the commentary after, I'm going to be putting another game on screen just to test how commentary is going to work on that end as well. Because when we get this done, that's what's going to have to happen. I want video proof. Alright, let me see. What else should I talk about? If you have any suggestions for things to talk about in our commentaries, leave them down in the description. Or not in the description, in the comments. If you, of course, want to hang out even further for more Underwater Volcano packs, feel free to, of course, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are trying to hit 500 subscribers this year, so any like, comment, subscribe helps a lot. Let me see what helps. What do I think? I am going to go through, maybe not next commentary, but maybe commentary after. You're going to go in at, we'll have a little bit of a series where we'll talk about the main players of the Serpent's Call and actually to kind of talk about them a little bit more in detail, what their role is, not to a spoiler extent, but what they will be doing to help you, or what you really be kind of forced to do in a way. Let me see. I think that's pretty much everything that I've got left to say. I could probably think of a couple more things. Did get a new book the other day. See, this is what I was talking about, where I will kind of, of course, sit down here and color code them. And no, I don't know what the color coding will be looking like, so this will be going as we go. The final boss fight will not have a color code. You have to access the hub from the Sapphire side to get to the final boss fight. So that's the only thing that does not have a color coding beacon. And as far as I know, they are I think there's only 4 different sections, including Sapphire's Castle, that you really need to go to. As far as the color-coded beacons, there's the Penguin Kingdom. There's the forest. Let's see. Penguin Kingdom, forest, Sapphire's Castle, which you'll have to track back to. Robotic Realm. So, but I'm not going to include that on this list. It's basically a final boss fight. And then, like, the Land in the Clouds. I'm going to probably come up with a better name for it. I did have a better name for it, and I forgot it. So, in total, you have, like, 5 different sections. Let me see. Alright. I did try sketching out a new character for Giants from the Realm Starbound, or DFR Starbound. I think that's gonna end up being it. Like I said, if you like the commentaries or you have a suggestion for a commentary, leave it down in the comments. I will read every single one of those. If you like the commentaries or gameplay in general, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Every last bit of it helps a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.